What is God's will? Good morning. My name is Father Frank Buckley. Delighted to be your host for our morning meditation group, Flourishing During Times of Uncertainty. This is a three-part series. This morning, we will begin with a little inspiration from Pope Francis on discernment and God's will during this pandemic. The second part, we give the morning practice to God, 20-minute contemplative practice where we turn the gaze inwards and enjoy a little miracle in our everyday lives. And the last part is just a Jesuit examine where we look over the last 24 hours and notice either where we've missed God or even more importantly, where God has come alive for us. So let's get this beautiful Thursday morning started. Today is going to be a great day with Pope Francis. And this is what Pope Francis has to say about God's will. In these difficult times, I take hope from the last words of Jesus in Matthew's Gospel. I am with you always to the end of the age. We are not alone. Maybe one of the most important sentences in the book. Let me repeat it. We are not alone. That is why we need not to be afraid to go down into the dark nights of problems and suffering. We know that we don't have the answers already and neatly packaged, yet we trust that the Lord will open for us doors we had no idea were even there. And of course, we hesitate. Faced with so much suffering, who does not balk? It's fine to tremble a little. Fear of the mission can, in fact, be a sign of the Holy Spirit. We feel at once both inadequate to the task and simultaneously called to do it. There is a warmth in our hearts which reassures us the Lord is asking us to follow him. When we face choices and contradictions, asking what God's will is opens us to unexpected possibility. I describe these new possibilities as overflow because they often burst the banks of our thinking. Overflow happens when we humbly set before God the challenge we face and ask for God's help. We call this discernments of spirits because it involves learning what is of God and what is seeking to frustrate his will. To enter into discernment is to resist the urge to seek the apparent relief of an immediate decision. Let me repeat that, one of the challenges I find. To enter into discernment is to resist the urge to seek the apparent relief of an immediate decision and instead be willing to hold different options before the Lord, waiting on that overflow. You consider reasons for and against, knowing Jesus is with you and for you. You feel inside yourself the gentle pull of the Spirit and its opposite. And over time, in prayer and in patience, in dialogue with others, you do reach a solution, which is not a compromise, but something else altogether. I want to be clear about this. In life, when you're seeking God's will, there are no compromise solutions. Does this mean a Christian can never compromise? Of course not. Sometimes it's the only thing you can do to avoid a war or some other calamity. But a compromise does not resolve a contradiction or a conflict. In other words, it is a temporary solution, a holding pattern that allows a situation to mature to the point where it can be resolved by a path of discernment at the right time, seeking God's will. Wow. Thank you, Pope Francis. We are not alone. What a beautiful way to enter into our meditation. I invite you to get comfortable, take your shoes off, allow your feet to absorb the energy of the earth, our mother. I'm going to lower the lights while you get comfortable. One of the ways we flourish is to unplug. So now would be the time to turn all the gadgets off. I've got the timer set for 20 minutes. I'll ring the bell to get us started. I'll do a little guided meditation, and then I'll ring the bell to take us out. So I invite you to close the eyes or lower the eyes, whatever feels safe, comfortable, and delicious to you. And let's get this meditation started. Listen, listen. The sound of this beautiful bell returns us to our true home. As always, we'll begin with diaphragmatic breathing to get grounded in the middle of a pandemic. Simply breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, all the way into the lower tummy, deeply as possible. Together as a community, inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Beautiful. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Bringing fresh oxygen to the brain and the body. Last time, deeply as possible. Inhale and exhale. Continue to breathe on your own. Take the attention to the body. Feel the feet pressed onto the earth, our mother, and just allow the earth to support you in this moment. Good. Taking the attention up the body, we arrive at the chair or the cushion, providing support for the body. We all need the support of a community and of Jesus. We are not alone. Let's reflect on where we felt supported recently. Where did we hear the Lord tell us in a most tender and intimate way, we are not alone? Gently going up the body a little further, we arrive at the shoulders, that place where we can hold a little tension. And in this moment, we just let that tension, whatever it may be, slide down our back onto the earth and surrender. Relax, renew, restore, lighten up. Moving towards the front of the body, we arrive at the heart. I invite you to embrace the heart with your hands, cultivating an attitude of gratitude, gratitude being at the very heart of Ignatian spirituality. We focus on something for which we're grateful this morning, and just name it in one word. Very, very gently place that word next to your heart, and as a community, let's breathe together into the gratitude. Inhale, exhale, release the hands, and just notice what you feel. Finally, we focus on an intention for today. St. Ignatius would again and again invite us to ask God for what we deeply desire. In this moment, let us ask God for something great and beautiful today. Good. We'll seal that intention with an inhale and exhale. Continue to breathe on your own. Engage your sacred word 3 or 4 times. Take the attention to the breath, the sounds around you, and enjoy the miracle of mindfulness. Please continue. Very, very gently, bring the attention back to the room. You can begin by circling the wrist just to bring a little energy back into the body. Reverse the train, go the other way. Healthy spine, healthy body. Let's start with a little morning stretching. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back to center. Look up, little back bend, a little forward bend. Pull the tummy in. Big morning stretch, reach towards the heavens. Deep inhale. Exhale, let it out. Shake out anything you've been holding on to. And now we will move into our Jesuit examine, where we simply look over the last 24 hours and notice where God has come alive for us. This is where we build a little community. So if you're new to the group, welcome. We are delighted you are here. You have found an amazing contemplative community. Feel free to tell us your name and where you're from. Also, if you'd like, please put in the comment box anything you may be grateful for this morning or where God has come alive for you. For me, recently was one of my great joys during this pandemic has been book deliveries from Amazon.com. And yesterday I got one of the most amazing books I've started in a long time on EMDR and psychosis and schizophrenia. And I'm only into the introduction, but one of the things I love that the author says is that trauma is caused in community, and the only way it can be healed is with community. So, what a great way to begin a book on the importance of the healing properties of communion, of community. And we hear in the reading this morning by Pope Francis reminding us of the words of the Lord that even in the middle of a pandemic, we are not alone. So that was one place God came alive for me. Second, let's see. Second would be, oh, I had it and now it's lost. Now I've lost my, oh, yes, of course. Many of you know I do for people struggling with addiction on the streets, a flourishing and recovery group on Tuesdays and Thursdays on the patio at 11. And one of our regulars in the group, for sake of anonymity, I'll call him John. Whenever we go around to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, the idea being I stole or borrowed from Nikki Myers, the amazing yoga 12-step recovery teacher, always says at the heart of her program is a grateful addict will not use. So we do a little gratitude check where we go around the circle and just say what we're grateful for. And week after week, Tuesday and Thursday after Tuesday and Thursday, John will always say, I love to hear the birds in Hollywood chirp. Now, I know those birds have been chirping all along, but it's only since John brought it to my attention that during our meditation practice, it's so beautiful to hear those birds of Hollywood chirping. And then last but not least, again, I cannot think of a better way for a Jesuit community to begin the day than with the words of our pontiff. I love the way he speaks about in a pandemic, he tweaks our imagination to imagine how we don't live in a world of scarcity, but in a world of abundance. And he lightens up our imagination by talking about this idea of overflow. Let's keep it close to our minds and our hearts as we move through the day. And I promise you, you will have a better day. Enjoy this Thursday, and I can't wait to see you for Poetry Friday tomorrow. God bless you.